That's right. Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here. And welcome to the third episode of Uniting Universal, the recap of So You Want to Be an Imagineer, Season 15, hosted on WDWMagic's Imagineering forums. And with me, as always, is the elusive pie on my cake.
Woo! It's me.
Yes, it is. How you doing, Pie?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
I'm doing okay. I'm up to my neck in just, basically a day after we did that Switch video the other day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy Shoe.
Yeah, I saw that one coming.
Right. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to, it doesn't matter that I have, all the other games that I need to play. Here's the thing, Pi, with all the games in my Switch collection, they're pretty much pick up and play arcadey style games, so it's not there's no real major incentive that it's okay, I need to play through this whole thing and I need to invest a ton of time into it.
Yeah, it's just whatever one you feel like playing that moment, you can pick up for a little bit and they can drop it for a month even and just come back later.
Exactly. All right, anyways, enough with the Switch because that's not what everyone here is here to talk about. They're here to talk about water parks.
Woo!
Not my favorite genre in the theme park industry, Pi. I must admit, I'm not big on them. However, I am going to Blizzard Beach in about a month.
Blizzard Beach is pretty fantastic. It's probably my favorite water park.
I'm really looking forward to it. There's a lot of stuff in Blizzard Beach that appeals to me. I really like the fact that they have that chairlift system.
It's one of the biggest things that sets that one apart from just a regular water park. It makes it feel really neat and special.
Mm-hmm. And I've heard mixed things about the biggest one there, the
Crush and Gush, I think it's called. The one that's supposed to be like a ski jump, except for you just keep going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's called the Crush and Gusher. And it's not personally my cup of tea.
No. Summit Plummet.
Summit Plummet?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know there's two of them right next to each other.
Yeah, I think Crush and Gusher is the other one, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because Crush and Gusher is not even the same park.
No. Crush and Gusher
Summit Plummet.
It's right next to Summit Plummet.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I get all the water slide names mixed up. But whatever it's called, it's not exactly my cup of tea, but that's partly because I'm not a huge fan of heights. But it's still neat enough.
I'm not a huge fan of heights either. It's just one of those things where it's I want to do it just to say I did it.
Yeah, it's a bit different for me since I live in Florida, so I don't feel the urge to do it often. But if you're only going to be in there once every couple of years, you got to do it at least once.
No, I mean, this might be my one and only time to do it.
Oh, yeah. You gotta.
And unfortunately, Typhoon Lagoon is going to be closed when I'm there.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
I like Blizzard Beach better overall, but I think Typhoon Lagoon has some of the better individual rides.
Yeah, I feel like I would only have time for one water park, and Blizzard Beach would definitely be my choice over Typhoon Lagoon. But although I must say I like both of the park's backstories, I think I like Typhoon Lagoon's backstory a little more.
Yeah, Blizzard Beach is a bit more all-encompassing with its theme and a bit more over the top with the snow and all, but Typhoon Lagoon probably is the more grounded and better told story.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, Pi, so we were just talking off air about the latest Florida water park, which is, of course, Volcano Bay, which you haven't been to, though, but you've driven past.
Yeah, you can see at least half the park from the interstate, so while I haven't been there, between what I've looked up online and can just see off the road, I have a pretty good feel for it, I think. Mm-hmm. It looks really cool. It looks like it has a lot of neat, fun rides and some high-tech stuff. I just don't like them trying to build it as a water theme park, because other than the volcano in the middle, doesn't look super much in the way of heavily themed. Even the volcano has stairs that go in and out of it, which mess with the forced perspective.
Right.
Make it look smaller than it really is.
Which is a shame.
Yeah. If they just build that as a really cool water park, like Disney does with Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon, I would be more on board with it than I am with them trying to build it as a water theme park.
It's costly, too. I mean, it takes a one-day credit just as much as Islands of Adventure or the Studios Park, which is, to me, I think, ridiculous for something that's essentially like half of what you'd be getting at those two parks.
Yeah. Let's face it, no matter how cool a water park is, you're still going to be leaving around 5 or 6.
If that, I mean, I'm going to Blizzard Beach. Like, I'm going to leave Blizzard Beach early to do the mini golf, and I really am not worried about that. I don't think I'm going to be missing anything. I think I think 3 or 4 hours for me at Blizzard Beach is going to be enough, frankly.
Honestly, yeah, unless you're going to be really chilling out, 3 or 4 hours is pretty much all you need at water parks. I know Volcano Bay has a bit more slides, because they could build more slides since they weren't theming them, just painting them neat colors.
Ooh, Shade Throne.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But the point is, even Volcano Bay, it's not going to take as much time to do everything as it would at an actual theme park.
Mm-hmm. So that transitions us then into Space Mountain Monorail Red Seuss Landing, a water park that's outstanding. It rhymes. Now,
ooh, fancy.
Now, Pi, this is basically the answer to stuff like Volcano Bay that advertises itself as a full-day theme park, whereas this, to me, feels more like a well-rounded theme park, even though it's not trying to be, really. But, like, at the end of the day, I mean, just look at this concept art. It's beautiful.
Exactly. This is what I would think of when I think of like a really nice themed water park.
Mm-hmm.
I think water park is intrinsically a different experience than a theme park, but they don't try and build it as a theme park, so it just works so well as a very themed water park.
And like I said, that was a smart choice on their end to not try and build it as a theme park.
I agree. It's just different things. Not necessarily better or worse things, just different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's definitely some unique elements here. I'm not sure, Pi, what did we agree on? Are we going to just scroll down?
I think that's what we had said, but honestly, whichever direction you want to take, I'll follow your lead.
Yeah, let's go ahead and scroll down and let's kind of talk through this. Of course, the danger about talking through a water park is just going to be like, hey, it's a slide. And then it's a slide.
Yeah.
And then it's another slide. But
they do have some neat theming and other elements added in to mix it up, but it's still mostly slides.
Which, of course, it's a water park, so, it's not like, what are you expecting? You're not going to reinvent the wheel on this.
It's like saying, yeah, I like Disneyland's Fantasyland. It's just too many dark rides.
Well, we'll see in the near future with Magic Kingdom. How many dark rides does Magic Kingdom have currently? Like 3?
Yeah. I mean, we got some other stuff to mix it up, but we're not doing so great in the dark ride department.
Oh, yeah. Disneyland's got 5.
Jealous.
And, I mean, like 6 if you include Roger Rabbit, which is right there.
Now, that's Toontown. That's a separate land.
It's right. It's on the wrong side of the tracks, Pi.
Yep.
Anyways. Okay, I tell you what we're gonna do. We're just gonna scroll through the different areas, and basically through the different areas, we're gonna quickly list off what they have in the different areas, but we're gonna talk through mostly the theming.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. So let's start with the The truffle trees, the truffle trees. Oh god, I love that old Lorax cartoon.
It's the best. It's one of the better Seuss adaptations.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
The old one, not the new one. Gotta make sure I specify that.
God, no, not the new one. But honestly, the old one, I think, is right up there with How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
I think so. I won't put it quite that high, just because it kind of lacks a bit of the fun factor that the Grinch has.
I feel like How the Grinch
Stole
Christmas has the benefit of, like, it's the ultimate Christmas special. So it's got that, like, warm and fuzzy holiday nostalgia around it.
Well, yeah, of course.
But
that
I feel
really
like quality-wise, I feel like the Lorax is right up there. I mean, it might not have, it might not have like the Thurl Ravenscroft shine to it or the Boris Karloff narrator, but it's still pretty good.
It's still a fantastic special, though.
Yeah.
Let's face it, that's true of most holiday specials.
Grickle grass.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the Truffle Tree Forest in itself, I think, is a really cool way to enter the water park. And then, of course...
oh, yeah, it's something...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I was just going to say, oh, yeah, it's something really colorful and visually exciting.
Mm-hmm. And then the main e-ticket here is the Swami Swam and Grickle Grass. Grickle Grass. Then we've got a few, we got the Vegemite, we've got what pet should I get? And my favorite pie, there's a walking in my pocket.
Yeah. And don't forget the Waska in the basket and all that other fun stuff too.
I love the marketability of this. This feels like it could be the next Build-A-Bear.
Oh yeah. Because as long as it rhymes, you can create anything you want.
Pretty much. Okay, so go ahead.
I was just gonna say I like to picture a little kid making some kind of creature and being like, "It's my belongs," but I can't think of a rhyme for it. And the cast member's just like, "Well, then you can't have it. Throws it in the trash."
Oh god. Kind of reminds me of this. Have you heard the drama going on with MoviePass Pie? This is like a brief tangent.
No, what's going on with that now?
Okay, what's going on with MoviePass right now is that AMC, this kind of cracks me up because I just imagine all the poor theater workers that are having to enforce this. AMC is they're not allowing people to use their stubbed reward cards with MoviePass tickets. Even though AMC gets all the money for a MoviePass purchase, right? It's not like they're being chipped. And so Pie, literally, they have people stationed at AMC theaters around the, around the ticket kiosks, like the automated kiosks, basically being like, hey, you used your MoviePass, you can't use your rewards card, basically like having the wagging finger of shame in your face.
Oh,
isn't that such bad PR?
I used to work at a movie theater, so I just feel so bad for those guys.
Right.
People get really touchy with any kind of rewards card.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the worst thing you can mess with. They probably have old ladies throwing popcorn at them.
Oh god, I bet. Anyways. So yeah, I mean, not much to say about the slide. It's got a cool kind of factory setting. Of course, with the Lorax, you have to have that factory tone mixed into the naturalistic feel. That's kind of the whole point of the story.
Yeah, and it works as a clever way to help hide the slide while still being themed without having to build up like a whole mountain around it or anything.
Very true.
Okay, let's really clever small area.
Yeah. Let's move on to Seuss Beach. Very natural place to have a wave pool.
Oh yeah, I love it. Especially since Sneakers was one of my favorites as a kid.
Oh yeah. I've always wanted to go through the star making machine.
I know. I wish that was an actual slide here or something.
It would make a really fun kind of like funhouse attraction.
That could work really well too.
Yeah.
They kind of have it in the Seuss in the Sky trolley tram ride in the real life Seuss Landing.
Do they? Do they?
That ride as a whole has a loose sneakers theme to it,
Uh-huh.
but it also has multiple narrations, and it's just kind of, my understanding at least, random which one you get, and only one of them actually tells the story of the sneakers.
Okay.
So you go through the machine briefly in it, but it's not like fully committed to.
Right. Speaking of which pie, Seuss Landing, the actual Seuss Landing, this is something I was meaning to bring up before we got into the actual project. So I have a feeling the Cat in the Hat is going to be the big surprise of my whole trip.
I like it. It's not Disney standard effects in a lot of the ways, but I still like it.
Okay.
Be prepared for especially the animatronics they have to not look impressive even compared to like really old Disney animatronics.
Ooh, really? Ooh.
They just kind of have rubber mask faces. So instead of the mouths opening and closing, they just kind of move.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, that's
It's
good
not
warning.
it's not quite as weird as I'm selling it to be, and I still really like the attraction. Just don't go in expecting a Disney level dark ride.
Okay. I've heard really good things about it, so
It's really good. Don't get me wrong. I'm just want to give that fair warning since I know you're a big Disney fan to know what you're getting into.
Okay. Anyway, so Sneak Beach. So this, of course, has the waves out of the caves. And then I guess just the shop.
Yeah, there's not much here. It's pretty much just the wave pool and the sandy beach area for people to lounge around.
Which works because I'm. It's nice that they have the wave pool in a whole dedicated area.
Exactly. It fits with the theming of Seuss and all, and it fits with the sneakers.
Mm-hmm. I assume you're familiar with the animated Sneeches, right, Pi?
Oh yeah, I had that VHS tape as a kid. I think I watched it more than I read the book when I was little.
The three-header.
Yeah, that was a weird.
Like, it was green eggs and ham, the Sneeches, and then what was the other one on there?
I didn't have the actual VHS tape. We had it taped off of a time when it aired on TV, so I just had that one.
Okay.
No, we would have had the pirated VHS version where you had to fast forward through commercials when you watched it.
Oh yeah, good times.
Looking back as an adult, I don't think there's any way that was legal, and yet everyone I know did that. I guess if you want selling it, it's okay.
Right. All right. So moving on to the next area, let's do Mount Crumpet in Whoville. Probably the most ambitious area for good reason.
Oh yeah, it would give you a lot of good chances for a lot of fun slides having a mountain there.
Mm-hmm. I think Mount Crumpet in itself is kind of like the icon of the park.
Oh yeah. Be a nice, big, noticeable icon too.
Mm-hmm. Maybe like, a little Blizzard bit too similar to Blizzard Beach.
Yeah, that's
the only thing I'm worried about, especially because it's such a big fixture of the park.
Yeah, like if they did a good job focusing on the Whoville, maybe even building that up partway on the mountain as sort of a structure, because with Blizzard Beach they do have the mountain, but the focus is very much on the ski jump on the mountain as the icon. I feel like they could get away with it, but it's still very similar.
By the way, one of the things I really like about Blizzard Beach is the fact that you can go right up to the ski jump.
Oh yeah, you can just wander out, and it's a nice observation deck. No one's around there.
I'm definitely going to spend some time on that observation deck.
Oh yeah. It's a nice place to get a quiet, tucked away area, too.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, let's see. So we have the Grinchy Grin and the two sizes too large. What do you think of these two slides, Pi?
I like the names. I think they both sound like they would be good, fun rides.
Like kind of
Maybe
generic, sort of like, filler water slides to pad out a theme park lineup, but with the fun names to go along with them.
exactly. It's the type of things you need to have, and with the added height of the mountain, they would be a bit more extreme than a lot of the others.
Uh-huh. Do you think the Grinchy Grin would actually be shaped to the grin?
I both would hope so, but also just trying to picture that as a real life slide. I don't know if you ever looked up anything about Action Park, but I feel like that could be more disastrous than anything they've built.
Now I want to try and build that in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3.
Oh yeah. I just can't imagine anyway without like having some boosters or something to build up speed. You could make it back up the spiral.
Right. Although maybe it could
We got
be
to
they said it's the towers though, so maybe it's just like two towers that meet in the middle.
see. There you go. They could do that. Yeah. I don't think that's necessarily the plan, but still,
Well, maybe Space or
I
Red
think
can
that would be
clarify that for us.
yeah. Right here, it just says it towers at 99 feet tall, speeds faster than a highway car, travels 60 miles per hour, which will take you far. And with my accent, all four of those lines rhyme instead of just two and two. So there we go.
So basically what I'm picturing this to be is kind of like dueling vertical slides essentially on either side.
I think so. I'm picturing it pretty much just like the Summit Plummet or whatever it's called at Blizzard Beach.
Huh.
It's a speed slide because they'll talk about the speed more than anything.
Sure. Okay, moving on.
Yeah. That's the tough thing about this presentation is I love all the rhyming, but that also sometimes makes it a bit tough to tell exactly what they are meaning to say the things are.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of a little bit of a risk reward with presentation and detail there.
Yeah. It makes a really nice presentation, but it also half of these I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to be.
Exactly. Okay, so two sizes too large. What I'm picturing is kind of one of those funnel slides.
Oh, that would be cool.
Except in the shape of a heart. That's kind of what I'm picturing.
That could be cool.
Yeah.
I was again just kind of picturing another speed slide, but this one with a bump in it or something.
Uh-huh.
But I could see a funnel slide being really neat, which those are fun. Have you ever gone down one of them?
Actually, no.
I'm not a huge water park guy, so I haven't been to a ton of them. But that's one of the few things they don't have at Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach that I really wish they did.
Right. Yeah, well, one day. I assume there's one at Volcano Bay.
I believe so, yeah. They have, as much as I like to tease that park for trying to call itself a theme park, they do have like every type of water slide and even a couple they made up themselves.
Uh-huh. Okay, anyways, moving on. This might be the most ambitious ride in the park because it's got a Grinch animatronic and everything else. It's like kind of the family raft ride, slay if you may.
Yeah. This would be really cool if they pull it off, right?
Mm-hmm. I've always had the idea, like a really weird idea for like an Indiana Jones water slide that's essentially the same layout as Indiana Jones Adventure, except it's a water slide.
That could be really cool.
I don't know how that would work. Just, I like the idea of like going down like rafts in an Indiana Jones setting.
Oh yeah, if I was going to do, I don't know if you've seen anything with the Pies Disneyland I've been working on.
I've been it's like you're one of two friends that I have who it's like you and Manny Reith have like these big ambitious dream resorts that I just do not have the time to read.
I fully understand. I'm not gonna fault you for that.
Yeah.
But I was this close to including in Adventureland Indiana Jones River Rapids ride, so like Cali, but more Indiana Jonesy.
Oh, nice, nice.
I agree with you. It could work really well with a raft format.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Mount Zorn is my personal favorite just because I love the artwork in that book.
Oh, it'd be so visually interesting to see how it goes. Let's see how it turns out.
And again, I wish there was a little bit more detail on how the slides actually worked.
Yeah, there's not really a ton of detail. It's kind of just filling in the blanks here.
Right.
Like, again, lovely presentation, and I love the rhyming. It just kind of hurts the detail.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad per se, and honestly, Pi, I feel like we're kind of entering an era of So You Want to Be an Imagineer where detail can mean different things beyond just word count. And honestly, I feel like you were involved in a project just recently that kind of took advantage of that with the Disneyland Switch game, because that was a project that, much like this, it more relied on presentation than detail, and you kind of had like a baseline of detail just to get the job done. So anything you can speak to that, kind of the changing trend?
Well, yeah, there's a lot more going on with a lot of different art styles and websites and ways to lean things out, and a lot more people including music into the presentations and things like that. There's a lot more things than just writing going into it. Like with that presentation you mentioned, we knew that just like with Zelda, it gives you a basic concept in the game and then just says go for it. So to kind of emulate that, we give a basic concept.
Except it's easier than Zelda because I still haven't managed to fucking get off that plateau. We'll talk about that off air.
One day you'll make it there. Don't worry.
One day, Pi. One day. I have a dream to make it off of the Great Plateau and then get my ass handed to me in the actual game, Pi. I have a dream.
I like to picture it sometime in like December and you're still on the Great Plateau, but somehow you've just gotten so good at every aspect of the game, besides what you need to do to make it to that one temple, that by the time you get off, the rest of the game you beat in like an hour at most.
It's like I go straight to Ganon and just whip his ass.
But still with like the beginning level weapons, you use like the 2-strength Bako club and just throw it at him.
Oh, that's great. That's great. The problem is with Zelda, it's like I'll give up on it very easily.
It's a game that can make people easily frustrated, and it doesn't. If you get stuck and frustrated on something, it doesn't offer you a lot of options for going and doing other things because, well, I mean, you can go anywhere, but also if you go somewhere else, you know you're going to forget about that, and you're not going to come back to it, so you want to do it now before you leave.
Yeah, well, I just want to get to that adventure, Pi.
Someday.
Someday I want to get to that. I want to have that choice. I don't want to just be like, all right, there's the Temple of Time again.
You want to be where the people are. I understand. You want to see them dancing.
God. Yes. All right, we're getting really off track here. So almost done. Okay, so the Cat in the Hat play zone, not much to say. It's kind of just the playground area, but nice to theme it to the Cat in the Hat, although I kind of feel like maybe the Cat in the Hat should have had a little bit more than just a playground.
Probably, but also Cat in the Hat is probably the most well-known to younger guests, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it does kind of make sense to give him the playground.
Not to mention, it's nice that, stuff like Horden and the places you'll go get a chance to shine.
Exactly. It spreads out the Seuss love a bit.
Right, right.
Which,
Fair
let's
enough.
face it, at least 50% of people going to water parks, if not more, aren't children with family. It's teens and 20 to 30 somethings going mostly just even hanging out or doing the slides, or honestly, in my experience, even at the Disney parks, just kind of light drinking and partying by a fake beach. Not like Miami Beach partying, but still.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
It's nice that they do things that will not draw in as many toddlers as like Cat in the Hat would, to still not be. They appeal to nostalgia just as much as to what appeals to kids now.
Sure, sure. All right. Okay, so I don't really have much to say about the restaurants or shops here, but let's get to the Jungle of Newell. Horton Hears a Who, Pie. I feel like the movie of Horton Hears a Who was kind of an underrated gem.
I won't go as far as to say gem, but I think it's pretty good.
Maybe gem is a little too strong of a word, but I feel like compared to other Dr. Seuss movies that we've gotten recently,
Yeah, it's better than both of the live action ones in my opinion, and I think it's better than the Lorax too.
it's significantly better than the Lorax.
And I am it now already that Illumination's Benedict Cumberbatch Grinch movie is going to be worse than Horton Hears a Who too.
And I would also wager to say that Horton Hears a Who is better than the Grinch movie.
I'm not a huge fan of the live action Grinch. It's okay. It's got some clever moments.
I'm not saying
like
it's a terrible movie. I'm just saying, like, overall, I feel like Horton Hears a Who is more watchable.
Oh, yeah. Horton Hears a Who, I think, is also does the best job of staying true to the Dr. Seuss ones and what their themes were, even if it does change a little bit and be a bit more modernized. It still feels
and
the
even
same.
stuff that goes away from the Dr. Seuss stuff, like I remember the anime scene in that movie, and that scene is hilarious. You know, it's totally not Dr. Seuss, but it's still hilarious.
Yeah, it works.
Uh-huh.
Granted, if we didn't have the nostalgia of it came out when we were relatively younger, we might not think of it as fondly.
It could be like Smurfs: The Lost Village or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Nostalgia can be a powerful thing, and it has been a few years since I've seen it.
And I'm sure there's kids that are going to grow up with Smurfs: The Lost Village and have it be a favorite in their collection. You know, no shame on that. I'm sure it's a perfectly fine film.
Do you know how many kids already love the Lorax movie and things like that?
Oh, okay. You see, that's the thing. There's a difference between Smurfs: The Lost Village, which is just kind of like forgettable, mediocre fluff, and the Lorax, which is just like cynical trash.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll give you that one.
Anyways.
But yeah, Horton Hears a Who, always one of my favorite Seuss stories. I like that they have more Horton in here, and as a family raft ride, sounds clever.
I also like that they blend Yertle the Turtle in, because Yertle the Turtle, you know, he's not really meant to have a full land, but, you know, it makes sense that he'd be in Horton's environment.
Yeah, it feels like good blending of them.
Yeah. And then the Big Brag Trail, I'm not really sure how the Big Brag Trail would work with, like, kind of, you know, playing around with the bears, unless the bears are just kind of like walk around suit characters.
Yeah. I was picturing personally something like the in Seuss Landing and Islands of Adventure, they have a If I Ran the Zoo water play area. Where it has a bunch of different like statues and interactive things with the different animals in the If I Ran the Zoo, and then as you like press buttons to do things, it will splash you.
Oh, I can see that.
There's also a dry area you can walk through too, but something like that.
Okay. All right, Pi. So I think that is about it for Seuss Landing.
I think so.
Now, I want to kind of check and see the length of something, because I feel like the next podcast we do should be the resorts, but I want to make sure that there's like not like a huge ton of detail with each of these resorts.
Yeah. We can see if it's going to be like, is the resorts going to be one podcast, and then the like city type area
This is a bunch of lists. It looks like the resorts, it's like a bunch of lists and menus and stuff, which makes sense, of course, because resorts, you want to focus on dining.
Oh yeah, a lot of great detail and things like that, but really a ton to talk about.
I feel like the next podcast should be the resorts. And then let me just check Universal Plaza, what they have.
This one, I think, just says coming soon, at least for the overview. Does the attractions and transportation have anything? Yeah, a lot of Universal Plaza is all coming soon, and lists of different businesses they want to be a part of.
Okay. Because honestly, I'd rather have 5 parts than...
I think we can do the resorts as one part, and then they also do have
events
with Halloween Horror Nights and Grinchmas. We'll probably wind up doing that. That and what they do have as not that they're like super huge things, but what we can do is the events in Universal Plaza as one podcast and the resorts as one podcast.
Oh my god, the idea of a Kurtz the Cowardly Dog maze. Oh, yes, take my money, please.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have at least a little bit to talk about here, I think.
Oh, there's a lot to talk about here. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Bates Motel. Oh yes. Oh god, yes.
I like that the even SCPs from like, I think it's just an online thing, got some love here.
Oh my god, I survived the Red Wedding. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I'm going to put a question mark next to that. I mean, I feel like that's horror in a different kind of way.
Yeah. Gotta say, I don't know a lot about Game of Thrones or anything like that, but that feels like kind of its own thing there.
God. I know what the Red Wedding is.
Yeah, I know it mostly from its infamy more than anything else.
Anyways, so events and then Grinchmas. Let's see how much details in Grinchmas.
Yeah. From what I'm seeing, we probably could do it all as one more podcast, or we could sort of stretch it out and do it in 2.
I feel like, especially because of the big list of stuff we have to talk about with Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, 2 more sounds good.
Yeah, okay, folks. So the next podcast will be the resorts, and then we'll round it all up with Universal Plaza and the events. Any final thoughts, Pi?
Water parks are fun in the sun.
Yes, they are.
It's that kind of insightful commentary you have come to expect from me by now.
And you know what? That's why we're considering going to all paid content. No, I'm just kidding. We'll never do that. Don't worry.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. See you later, folks. Switch is love. Switch is life.